ignoring it until they got the third whistle. It's the USA versus international match here, as we have Martina Bonnerova from the Czech Republic playing with Tasha Kotnik from Slovenia. Now, she may be from the Czech Republic also, actually, but currently residing in Ljubljana, Slovenia. Bonnerova to serve, playing the Witt sisters from the United States. Currently, their last names are Willis and Thibodeau, though, as they are both married. Tough serve down the middle right out of the gate. And that ball goes down for Kotnik. Interesting. Nice put away there by the Americans. Their fans go wild at the back end of the court. USA to serve. Swing off the hands there that time. Bonnerova on the right side.
Back in action here, Rich.
Steve, OB, back in action. Nice to be rejoined by you. We have USA versus the Czech Republic here. Martina Bonnerova serving, her partner Tasha Kotnik against the formerly Witt sisters, twin sisters, now Willis and Thibodeau are their last names.
That was a very nice hit cross court. This should be an interesting match.
Should be good. Haven't seen a ton of power from either side just yet, but we've
just
seen a lot of precision, yeah. Oh, soft little cut shot there. The challenge for us is figuring out which one is Madison and which one is McKenna.
That's a tough
out
one.
Out of the Americans. We don't have numbers in our...
Sorry at home there if the parents are watching.
I think their parents might be in the end zone there watching.
I would think they are. They're local gals.
Going to your question earlier in our first match as to what coaches do and say and can do and can say, a little coaching on the crossover there from their coach.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if that's kosher or not. It may very well be, but even if it's not, he is of Brazilian descent, so to him it's all good.
Oh, yeah, it's all good.
Nice block there, USA, by either Willis or Thibodeau.
No comment.
I'm waiting for one of them to use the other's first name so I can dial it in here.
Timeout. I'll go over and talk to them. Madison and McKibben.
Nice shot there down the line.
That looked a little sticky on her hand there.
Yeah.
Just a little bit sticky. She's lucky she got the top spin on it. If she didn't, I think that could have been a call.
Yeah, tall girl listed at 6'2", Tasha Kotnik. Kind of getting underneath that ball a little bit, though, it looks like, to your point. Nice shot there. From the left side, the number 1 former Witt sister.
Hey, what's your first name? We couldn't tell you apart. There we go. We got McKenna's first name.
McKenna number 1, Madison number 2. So McKenna with a nice cut shot.
guess when you're serving them, you say serve left side or right side.
Yeah, right, exactly right.
What if they switch?
Start at the University of Arizona in college. Yeah.
I think the twin women, because there's Taylor and Trevor Crabb, I think the men's team, if you're playing with your brother, it tends to wear out quickly.
Yeah.
Because you're so competitive and you're not afraid to say things. And these girls being twins, the twins seem to stick together. We'll see as years goes on. Well, that's a great reach right there.
Ball goes just long with a good swing on the left in any event from McKenna.
I thought that was in, too. That's another part about sitting back here. You can't really call anything except the lines, or if they come right in front of us.
Picked up that time by Bonnerova, and still alive for the Americans.
So, that's the advantage over a tall woman over a short woman.
Yeah, good
She
side.
just gets up so high with that cut, there's just no way. You got to be standing there.
She's really getting some nice trajectory on that, right? It doesn't go up, it just goes kind of straight down for her. A little hiccup with the scoreboard. And now so we'll get an updated score for you as they try. Ooh, Bonnerova wants that one back. But Madison kills it on the right side.
Bonnerova's the one on the left, right?
Bonnerova is the right sider, and Kotnik is the left sider.
I was watching Kotnik serve. Oh, nice dig. Oh, better block.
Oh, great coverage there, USA.
I was watching Kotnik serve before. What is the deal when you just stand right there and do your float serve? Is that an advantage, disadvantage, or would you teach if you're coaching women, would you teach them to go forward or do you teach them to stand?
Yeah, if I were starting from scratch with somebody, I don't know that I would teach that particular technique, but it was popularized by the Germans. The German men won the gold medal in 2012 in the Olympics, Brink Reckerman, and they served like that and had incredibly difficult flow serves. And then the reigning women's gold medalists, Laura Ludwig and Kira Walkenhorst, the sister of Alex Walkenhorst, the Staying With You, both served like that. So the Germans figured out that there's some advantage to either the consistency of the strike or maybe the way you can make the ball dance when you strike it like that. You know, I mean, typically we think of kind of loading your shoulder and having your feet staggered. And
maybe it's the Mercedes of serves.
It's the Mercedes of serves. Das Best oder nichts, they say, right? The best or nothing. So, yeah, and so when you have teams like the German teams be successful, that tends to kind of bleed into the rest of the world, right? Teams start to copy what's been successful.
Well, it seems like it's easier to throw the ball up straight and get a good angle. So I see the sense in it, you know, but the other girls are throwing the ball when they're running.
Right.
So I could see somebody doing that.
Yeah, you see somebody like Laura Ludwig, too, has a really pronounced toss in that she gets it on her right shoulder. You know, of course, you want to have it on your hitting shoulder. She lines up the ball and then shifts it all the way over to her right side and flips it up from there, which, you know, again, I like the consistency of that.
It was weird when I was playing. We were jump serving, too, and I'm being a lefty. I would throw the ball up with my right hand for some reason. I couldn't balance on the beach. It's really tough to throw the ball up with your hitting hand.
Right.
And I don't know if anybody does that.
On the men's side, Alexander Brower, who's got one of the best jump serves out there. He's a right-handed guy, but he throws it with his left hand.
So I'm not the only weirdo.
No.
No, because it was just more control.
Yeah.
Instead of going like this, and then you got to launch. But I see the indoor guys, and they throw it up with their hitting arm. So I just go, I'd have to be retrained because it was just a natural thing to be throw it up on the opposite side.
Right.
And I felt like I could spin the ball more, move the ball more, right? Getting an off spin and coming over and hitting on the line. then again, I'm left-handed. We think differently.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting discussion because I think there are some absolutes in the technical aspects of the game, but there's lots of ways to get to those absolutes, meaning whether I toss it with my hitting hand or my offhand, the absolute part of that is that I want it over my hitting shoulder when I contact it, right? So if I'm more comfortable throwing it with my right hand in your case, or my left hand, if I were attempting to do that, makes no difference as long as I can consistently throw it up there,
Sort
right?
of like golf. When you get this far from the ball, that's what I mean. That's where you gotta, get right here. It all matters where you're right here.
Right.
So 2 inches from the ball, that's going to tell you
Exactly right.
that you can compress it. So there's no, like you said, there's no rhyme or reason. Guys probably do things a little bit different on jumps or cutting the ball, floating the ball, or whatever.
I tell kids a lot with passing, everybody gets taught to kind of put your hands together a certain way when you're young, and I don't think there's a right answer for that either.
For passing?
How you hold your hands when you're passing. There's certainly some absolutes in how you want to angle your platform and where you want your weight distribution and your balance and so forth, but again, lots of ways to skin a cat, so to speak.
Well, you played enough Olympics to look at passers. You weren't you were a great passer, but your hands weren't always like you were taught.
Right. Yeah, and
Karch Garai was passing like this. You look in the pictures of him.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he's interlocking this to go like that. But it's all about the ball nose angle. It's all about hitting the platform the right way.
And you see that out on the beach almost more so. Guys, people hold their thumb, which, my arms would be 6 inches apart from one another if I tried to do that.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly solid if you've got the wrist mobility and the elbow mobility to make a platform out of that. There's a guy from Latvia, maybe Jānis Smedens, who, he's holding his hands like this, like he's getting ready to cradle his child above his head or something, but his arms lay together so perfectly.
It's like the last move you make. It's just doesn't matter where you hold your hands. It matters where your platform is.
Yeah, and he gets, that creates kind of this wide surface area feeling, which is fantastic for serve receive. Really solid back and forth battle here as the Czech girls get a point.
I call it. It's going to be an interesting match. Just don't know if length's going to take over sooner or later.
Yeah. Yeah, in those seesaw battles, sometimes the ability to not have to jump as much comes into play, right?
You just don't want to overpass. Oh.
Yeah, there you see it.
That's just...
When she can stand at the net and not have to take an approach, that's a huge advantage because typically, especially if you're a smaller player, you get stuck there without a lot of range.
It's not fair. That game's not fair. You're being taller. Everybody should be the same height.
Tell that to Taylor Crabb, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or Nick Lucina.
Yeah.
It's great to see those guys work the ball, being not that tall.
You have to think that that's where the sort of chip on their shoulder that they seem to play with comes from, right? Is having to battle against big sticks.
There's nothing better for those guys to beat a taller guy.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
I feel like when the bigger the block that Taylor faces, the more aggressive he is, which I love. I love that mentality.
He was MVP of the NCAA, right, Taylor?
Player of the Year
State Player of the
NCAA.
Year.
He was MVP of the AVP this year. As a 6-foot guy.
Yeah,
26-year-old, 6 foot, $155, $160.
Made $38,000.
Yeah.
It's like,
so
bad.
They had a really nice season. Actually, there was some King of the Court events that came along, and he and Jake ended up winning 2 out of the 4 of those, which was great.
That was a
little
good
extra
timeout.
Christmas money.
It was a good timeout by the Twins.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, they can swing. They do a lot of swinging.
Yeah, they're quite athletic, quite physical. They were very successful at the University of Arizona have been fighting off some injuries, I think, of late. We saw.
You think they get injured because they train too hard? I always wondered about that. For me, and I see athletes getting hurt. Is there a? I'm a firm believer.
Oh.
Yeah, great play. I'm a firm believer. Sometimes you work out too much.
Yeah.
You gotta even during the week, you gotta give yourself some downtime. And some of these, even the men, they just work so hard. And there was never injuries when I was playing.
Yeah.
Because nobody worked out that hard. You were loose, and So I don't know. I know they're better than us, but sometimes when they get hurt, that's my whole point, is they may be overtraining. They only got so many jumps and so many hits.
Yeah, that's true. It's tough to know where that threshold is, though, right? Because you don't want to come out and feel like you're underprepared. But I certainly do think that there is a point where you get into the overtraining realm. Nice pass there. Nice little, that was a little Stein-Metzger-esque right there.
Oh, boy, that was good. Hang up there. That's a hard shot. That's probably one of the hardest shots in volleyball.
Yeah.
To hang up there, and you're just where the ball landed was incredible.
Right. Oh, nice serve there. And it gets the ace, drawn back to within 2. It's 15 serving 17 now. USA, the twin sisters trailing, McKenna and Madison. Another nice serve. I mean, she's landed before she hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All 4 of these girls are tremendous athletes, the way they move.
Yeah, you mentioned it's deep sand out here. It's not easy to move around.
No.
Bonnerova's on that. Controls it nicely. Probably not the best set she was looking for there. Coming at us.
Great hit by McKenna.
Yeah, it was a great hit.
Really nice, especially against a big blocker. She got up and just cut it just enough to get by her. She disguises that pretty well because her shoulders are square at the net, which you want to be. I think every time you hit the ball, you got to square up.
Right.
And you can't beat that. It forces yourself to maybe hit a line shot and your arm's not as high. So every time I see players that are just beginning, you square up at the net. And you make the adjustment from there. Is that correct?
I would agree with you, yeah.
Whew. Glad you agreed with that.
I think it varies a little bit depending on which side you play. Just because, we want our right-handed left side players to take a little bit of an angular approach. So you're coming up into that ball. You're chasing it with your hitting shoulder.
But right side's got to definitely square their shoulder.
But right side
yeah.
is almost the direct opposite of that, right? We want them to get more to the middle of the court so that they can approach out to the ball because, again, it's on their hitting shoulder. A couple back-to-back hitting errors from the twin sisters wrap up the game for the Czech Republic. Set 1, 21-16 as Rafu Rodriguez stops by.
Your choice, ladies.
Victorious in his first match? Negative. Oh, so I'm
Steve
pouring
Radovich, how are you?
pouring salt in old wounds then. Nice to see you, Rafu. So what do we think that Madison and McKenna need to do here in the second set to level this match?
Well, they got to dig more balls.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to get any points against the Czechs. I mean, it's really tough because they pass and they serve so well, and if they get the taller woman out there, it's going to be hard. So they got to dig a lot of balls, side out.
Yeah.
But they got to dig more balls. You got to score. They're not going to side out with them. So they got to dig balls.
Yeah, maybe it's a consistency thing.
Yeah.
We saw them. I do appreciate that they didn't let their aggression level dip.
Yeah.
Right, they stayed aggressive, still going after the ball.
Yeah, they're
hard.
not afraid to swing.
Yeah, which I like. If you're going to make a mistake, it's got to be a mistake that's aggressive rather than being tentative and hitting balls out and trying to be too cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the whole time, all day. Just
Back in
screaming
action
loud
here.
all the time.
See what the coach told the Twins. Probably the same thing we told them. That you're a coach.
Yeah. I like to do Andy McGuire is a great guy, a great volleyball player, great golfer. You know Andy, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
And he calls it whack-a-mole coaching. You know, you get those coaches where you hit a ball out and they just go, don't hit it out.
Yeah.
Or you serve and then they go, you got to make your serve.
Yeah,
that's really,
exactly. It's
that's
pretty
really
simple,
not helpful,
isn't it?
Coach.
Oh, what a serve that was. This is where they get messed up. Oh. It's amazing how fast the Twins are.
Yeah, they are.
I didn't think she
speedy,
had
huh?
a chance to touch that ball, and she almost got it up.
Yeah, they certainly make you work for your side outs out there. That started off with a great serve to the deep corner by Martina Bonnerova. And she promptly misses that one. That's, I remember Chris Marlowe used to talk about it on broadcasts a lot, kind of the 7 no-nos of serving, service errors. And it basically amounts to you should never miss your serve. But it's like, you know, after you've scored one, first serve of the match point, coming out of a timeout, if the other team just missed, you know, all those kind of things.
My theory is coming out of a timeout, serve the ball underhand.
Yeah, yeah.
You just want to get it in. If you and it's Sinjin and I, believe it or not, we talk a lot about that because Hagan was playing at UCLA. We watched college volleyball together and go crazy on the serving. And somehow mathematically they think that, you know, serving the ball hard, but get back to beach. There's, like you said, 7 things that Sinjin's.
Yeah.
One of them's coming out of a timeout. Another one, if you get 3 or 4 points in a row, don't bomb the serve because the percentages are you're not going to make that serve a hard serve.
Right.
There's only so many times. So I see the men do it. You got to take a little bit off the ball and make them side out. Make them.
Tough chance again.
Oh, what a shot.
Oh, what a get there. Keep this ball
Still
alive.
over on 2.
Hit it right back to her. How about that play? Oh, boy.
Oh.
Such a bummer, but great effort there by sisters.
It's really hard with that ball spinning. to
Look at
you.
You just summoned him. He
Hagan
was
Smith
just
just
speaking.
came by. We're speaking to the devil.
He just wanted to show off the
The
pipes
most
a little
beautiful
bit.
guy on the tour, Hagan Smith.
The locks,
Love the long
pipes.
hair. Oh, he's pretty, isn't he?
Nice play
He's
off the
funky.
block there. That's not easy to do, to guide that with your knuckle.
Yeah. Getting back to when there's a dig, that ball's spinning. It's so hard, especially with this volleyball, to get a good set out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
You really got it. It's almost luck, you know, not luck, but it's like you got to be in the perfect position.
Yeah,
And the ball, you know, like I said, in those angles, if you're a little bit off, there goes another missed serve. They can't afford to give them points like that, especially at 3-2. I mean, come on, just keep the ball there, make them side out. Serving a float serve, you're not going to kill anybody with it.
Right. These teams are serving pretty tough, I think. That right there is just such a difficult serve. She's really driving that ball, and it stays high on.
That ball just floats off. I mean, I really admire the good passers on the tour. Cause everybody thinks, well, it's really easy, it's going slow. Now that ball's like flies all over the place. Even the best passers don't always pass perfect. But then you need a good set. But they're always getting into midcourt, which I think generally on a bad pass, if you can get it, and it's at midcourt, you can get that ball towards the net to set.
It's a little kind of bait and switch there by the Czech team. She set up on the line and jumped into the angle as the Americans just slapped it wide for another point, Czech Republic. Going back to the discussion we had in the first set about sort of what sets apart the top tier teams from the second tier teams, I think fixing plays is a huge part of that. Meaning, if I don't pass the ball well, my partner lays up a hittable ball for me more often than not.
Yeah.
That's really, I think, one of the major things that separates those teams that are at the top is because, you know, there's so many tough servers out there, and like you said, we're not going to pass the ball perfectly all the time, but does a bad pass turn into a bad set? If so, I'm going to have a lot of trouble. If a bad pass turns into a good set more often than not, I'm going to be able to separate myself from other teams, I think.
You don't want to do the 2 for 3 where you make a bad pass, the guy gets the ball out, the guy gets the ball up, or you hit the ball out.
Right.
Under the net.
Right.
I call that the old 2 for 3. You're
Yeah.
not batting real well when that happens.
I feel like I was a 67%er a lot of the time as a beach player.
No, when I coach, even in indoors, I go, you don't have a good set, keep the ball in.
Yeah.
Because you can't score a point if you don't keep the ball in. You see it a lot. You see it in beach volleyball. Guys try to make a great shot and go, what are you doing? The chances of that are 10%.
Yep.
They're higher if you get the ball back over the net and try and block them or dig the ball. Guy make a bad pass.
It kind of comes down a lot of times, I feel like, to how much you trust your block and defense.
Yes.
Because if you feel like you're fairly weak in block and defense, you try and go for those hero shots
Yeah.
in situations where you shouldn't. If you have a high level of trust that you can make a good stop, a good defensive play, you can feel comfortable just giving the ball to a team.
Good
Oh.
drop off, though. That was a great drop
And,
off.
she's going to get away with that right there.
Right on the line,
And
too.
mixed up.
Oh,
Look at this. Oh, boy.
that was a great rally.
Great rally. Good layouts. It kind of came down to a good pole dig initially, but didn't get the set she needed from Kotnik. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. It's Randy Stoklow.
walked in the booth. He's already grabbing my headset. How you doing, Randy?
Randy prompt today. Doesn't have to work until 1 o'clock. He's here at 10:30 enjoying the action.
Scouting.
You know you're in California when it's 68 degrees and two guys have bubble goose down jackets on. Either that or your temperature regulation has just gone completely kablooey, OB. Seen a lot of good little knuckle pokey cross bodies in this match.
Yeah.
Couple from the American Twins, couple from
I think
Bonnerova
the Twins are
there.
going to go aggressive on the right side with McKenna. She's got to go line instead of hit cross court. She's got to make the check work for that shot on the line. She's not going to. She hits it by her. It's going to go to the defensive player. I think one of the checks is only playing angle. It's not really, because the tall blockers influence the hitter. So you're kind of like, you need to make a good shot on the line.
Another thing I think that separates the elite, going back to that topic, is range offensively, right? I don't just want to swing angle or swing line because Casey Patterson likes to call it JV angle. If I just swing straight to the corner
angle,
every time, a defender's going to be sitting there. So I've got to take something off and guide it a little more towards the sideline. Or like you said, slap it to the line.
Yeah. You got to watch that JV Cuddy Sark, as we used to call it. It's
another opportunity for the Czechs here on the back of some good serving. Yeah, that one, a little bit of a duff. And there it is.
Cut the line.
Just like you wanted, OB.
No, last week.
There's that shot to the line.
Randy's here. Were you close to the fires last week, 2 weeks ago? 3 miles from the fires. Did you water your roof, or what'd you do? Did you leave?
No, I helped other people up there in Malibu.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Savior, Randy Stoklow's get in the middle of those fires in Malibu and Thousand Oaks.
Me and Laird Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh, Laird Hamilton, too, the famous big wave surfer. Married to the volleyball player, Gabby Reese. That almost looked like a lift
Yeah.
on Madison.
So it was a little lower than she was expecting, I think, and unable to traverse the block.
I wonder if
Randy, just a silver-haired god, just coming in, saving lives in the Malibu fires. Or?
we got twin puffers on, so we thought it was going to be 30 degrees today. And yesterday I was down here, and I was so cold I was looking for the hockey rink. Where's the ice?
Yeah. Cold, of course, is a relative term for those of you who don't live in California.
Yeah.
It dipped a little bit below 50 here, and we all panic. And
And today it's a beautiful day.
Today it is a gorgeous
The wind
day.
stays down. This is the best weather you could possibly play in.
The nice block there that time.
But it kind of, you notice the sand, like I said, the sand's chunky.
Yeah.
And it's not like a fast track right now. It's
Yep.
a very slow track. It's like, you go to horse races, there's a fast track and there's a sloppy track. This is a sloppy. It's hard to moving this thing. You see a lot of short balls that they would normally get on a firmer surface.
Right.
And then the sand is up, so you try and get down, and you're taking sand with you because you're used to going straight.
Yeah.
So your hand sinks in the sand. You can't get those flippers up. It's going to be a big thing in this tournament.
That's why, Randy, you always went with the backhand flippy above the net, right?
Randy was a good backhand flipper. Nothing worse than seeing a guy turn his back on you.
Yeah.
And he pretty much doesn't have any idea what it's going. He's just trying to hit it hard and get a little thing on it, and nobody knows where it's going.
I think it was really just to highlight how little respect Randy had for his opponent.
Well, he knew there's an 80% chance he was going to touch the next ball on a block.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially against me. Just hit it right to OB. We got a good chance of getting it back.
The Americans inch closer here, 9 serving 11.
Little comeback here.
Yeah, they've strung a couple in a row together here.
All right.
Some good serving, some nice blocking at the net.
Let's get the ball in on the serve. What is that? I don't understand these players coming out of a timeout and then they serve the ball in net. Happens indoors, happens Olympic team, happens anything. Once you got that one in, fantastic.
Good aggressive response from Czech Republic as we go into the technical timeout now. They're out in front 12-9.
I think McKenna broke a little too early on that shot.
A little bit too early.
But if they could tape this, I don't know if we could, those out at home, if you could tape this streaming. Randy would know, can you tape the streaming? Because I know the Twins don't get a lot of photography going, a lot of movies, video going on them. So I would think if they could tape this or tape it at home, they could go back and study the video. And I think that really helps because middle-tier players, they only get it in practice. They don't get it in tournaments. So I think that would, these middle-tier girls could actually see video. And I know where we have the cameras back here. I think that would really help them.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a coach. Probably videos practice or something, but there's probably nobody videoing their games, especially this round.
Yeah, their teams are incorporating that quite a bit these days. We saw Irene come over and set up a camera. She's scouting other teams. That's how much she's interested in chopping up video. Got to be students of the game, as it were, right?
Yeah.
There's a few different
I was asking
facets.
Bruno, who won the Olympics in 2016, and Bruno's only 6 foot. He's maybe a little bit shorter than me. And I asked him, does this video really work?
Yeah.
Of your matches? He goes, absolutely.
Yeah. Another great serve
we
there.
didn't have any video, nor did you back then.
Right.
It's like you guys may have had it in practice, but the games, I mean, some of them did get filmed, unless you guys filmed it, but I think video is more important in indoor volleyball. But he said absolutely it helps. So we would just watch so much volleyball. You get 22 tournaments a year. We used to play, Randy used to play, but you knew everybody because you'd watch them. When you weren't playing, we're in the players' tent. We were able to watch Randy and Sidge and Don Hovland, Karch, and you watched them week after week after week.
Right.
Everybody knew everybody's tendencies.
Yeah, the way they have video set up now, it's so much easier to digest too, because it gets coded so you can break it down into I can look at number 2 from Czech Republic, all her attacks.
Yeah,
back
it's
to
not
back.
the Super 8 cameras I used to watch
It's
it on.
not. Yeah, it's
and
not
you
where
can
you
run
have
it
to go.
back. You can run it back. You can stop it. See where the guy's hands are. See where the positioning is.
It's not the reel-to-reel machine.
That ball's going to go down.
Yep. Nice little hustle play. Caught the Czech team off guard there. They didn't expect that one to come back. And here
Twins
we are.
are back in the fight. 13 all.
Yeah, and they're charging too. So wouldn't be surprised at all if they come back and take this second set and push us to a third.
Serve this area there.
Oh, absolutely. Into the wind, you got to play wind attack. This is where they got to play wind attack, Rich. They got to start serving in the wind and serve the right side. No, that didn't work. That's the easier side to pass on, easier side to hit on. Plus you got the 6'2" out there.
Yeah.
So I really think in the wind, I don't know if they're used to playing in California, but I played so much that if I'm over there, I'm going to serve down the line.
Right.
Because the ball's blowing, it's going from west to east, the wind, so the ball on the right sider blows in. And on the left sider, it just kind of blows out a little bit.
Right.
With that ball even on the right side, it'll blow in and back.
That's certainly something to think about, especially if you don't have one particular player that you're comfortable going after. So you just hit your best serve.
Oh, what a shot that is.
Nice little wrap up.
See,
over
she
the
doesn't,
top.
her partner on the check team's not going line very often. And the Twins got to figure, McKenna's starting to figure that out. Just go deep line. The line is your friend, Rich, right?
The line is your friend, yeah.
It's your best friend sometimes.
It's all about how you build that relationship with the line. The block can be your friend too. Of course,
Yes.
it can be
Oh,
your
absolutely.
enemy. Depends on how you build that relationship.
Oh.
A little bit indecisive there.
Yeah, her body position was in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
She just jumped straight up and do that. She's got to get back a little bit, give herself a little bit of approach. She had time to do it there, but they get a little lazy in their footwork. You got to have footwork. It's all about footwork.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a tough break for the Americans. Good break if you're.
see that
fan of
short
the
serve?
Czech
You can
Republic.
see it where the sand stops her hand.
Yeah.
I've only played over in Europe a couple times, and I can't remember the courts. When you go to Austria or whatever, Germany, are the sand not as deep?
Yeah.
So the sand's not as deep as it is here.
Right. It's kind of hit or miss. There's training facilities in Germany that have some of the deepest sand. Like even
Well,
deeper
the training
than-
facilities, yeah.
But yeah, naturally occurring sand on a lakeside is going to be typically shallower, more shallow.
How was it in Brazil?
Yeah, that's a little hit or miss too. And
Yeah.
Copacabana, obviously, it's pretty similar to what we're seeing
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I played down there during the Olympics. I was down there visiting, and I played a couple games down there. Yes, it was like playing in California. I went to Vegas last week. That was an indoor doubles game.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a joke. Talk about advantage to the bigger guys.
right.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a very different game. Hard-packed sand. A couple service aces from the Czech team have them close to victory here in this second set and in this match.
Twins are right after them, and they just give up some points.
Yeah, we went from 13-all to now the Czech team leads 18-14, so a 5-1 run there just when they needed it. And that will not be retrieved. Again, a good aggressive swing. I like that even when they're in a little bit of trouble, they respond with aggression.
See if they can put something on the board. Oh, good serve.
Good serve.
Better shot.
Better shot, yeah.
Great serve, better shot. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah. You can do everything right and still not be successful
Well,
sometimes.
I think the center check sets the ball really high, so the taller she's got an advantage. She can look and reach. Her passing's gone way downhill for McKenna.
Well, that one just wide. Thought it might have hit the line, but that'll take us to match point here for the Czech team. 20 serving 15. Gotta imagine that'll just about do it here. Although
As
I
they
did,
say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
that's a wrap. Although I did just watch right now over in Poland is the club world championships indoor for the men, and the team that's won it the last couple of years. Nice play there to keep themselves alive by the American Twins. Zenit Kazan, Matt Anderson plays there. Another guy, Irvin Engapet. They've won everything for the past 4 or 5 years in the world. They're up 14-9 in the fifth set against Lube Macerat, I believe, and lost.
Gave up 6 straight.
It got to 14-all, I think, before they eventually sided out. And then it went into extra innings, and eventually they fell. After
Where's the
14
gun when you get done playing?
Yeah, that's not a good time to be on a Russian team
Yeah,
when you lose that one, and I think they're not even in the semifinals now as a result of that loss. So
Well, that's the end of this match. We'll see you in a couple minutes for the next match.
well done, just a little bit more consistent by the Czech team there, but some good volleyball from Madison and McKenna, and I'm sure we'll see them later on in this tournament.
So you were helping out. You're one of the hero first.
There were so many things that were just you guys with the whole deal.
I read about it.
I've been living there my whole life. Didn't hear a fire, ambulance, a fire department, anybody on the Coast Highway. There was not a siren, not a fucking one siren.
Because they're all in the mountains.
They're all either to the valley, working it that way, but there was nothing. It was such a joke. There were so many things that were just. I mean, they got everybody out eventually, but it was really, really bad. And then once you got out, you couldn't come back in.
Really? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, it's interesting about when these people know their houses are going to burn, they're grabbing stuff, and they don't know what to grab. It's like, what do you know, they walk in their car and they got towels with them.
Yeah.
Or soap or something like that.
Yeah.
They forget the pictures.